Clara Thompson, 48, had been the invisible cleaning lady at Pinnacle Enterprises for 15 years. Day after day, she pushed her cart through the marble halls of the Chicago high-rise, watching executives in fancy suits rush past without acknowledging her existence. She was part of the furniture, a ghost in a navy blue uniform, until she wasn't. The catalyst came when Victor Lang, Pinnacle's arrogant CEO, publicly humiliated her. "Clean it up, Grandma," he barked after a coffee spill near the elevator, prompting laughter from his entourage and curious stares from the staff. Clara kept her head down, face burning with shame, but something inside her snapped that day. After 15 years of swallowing her pride, she'd had enough. What Victor and his cronies didn't know was that Clara harbored a powerful secret. 15 years earlier, her uncle, a significant investor, had passed away, leaving her substantial shares in Pinnacle Enterprises. Instead of revealing her ownership or cashing out, Clara had chosen to keep mopping floors, silently observing as Victor transformed the company into his personal playground. From her unassuming position, Clara witnessed everything. Victor shredding suspicious financial documents late at night, orchestrating unfair layoffs while buying another yacht, mistreating staff, and falsifying reports. She'd been collecting evidence, taking photos with her phone of incriminating papers, and storing them in her cleaning cart. She'd become an invisible witness to Victor's corruption. After the coffee spill incident, Clara called her old friend Tom, a lawyer. "It's time," she said. Over greasy diner fries, she revealed everything she'd seen and documented during her years at Pinnacle. Tom's eyes widened as he realized the implications. "Clara, you're the majority shareholder. You've got the power to end this." The shareholders' meeting was scheduled for the following week. Clara continued her routine, pushing her mop across the floors while Victor strutted around, oblivious to the reckoning that awaited him. At night, she printed emails she'd retrieved from the trash, compiled evidence of harassment, and organized financial discrepancies with Tom's help. Her tiny apartment became command central for their operation. The night before the meeting, Clara couldn't sleep. She sat staring at the stack of evidence they'd compiled, her cleaning uniform hanging nearby. This wasn't just for her. It was for every employee Victor had belittled, every worker he'd laid off to pad his bonuses. "Tomorrow, Victor's done," she whispered to herself. On the morning of the shareholders' meeting, Clara arrived at Pinnacle as usual, bucket rattling by her side. She waited in the hall until Tom texted now. Then she pushed through the boardroom doors, still in her uniform. Every head turned. Victor snorted dismissively. "What's she doing here?" He waved her off, prompting nervous chuckles from the board. Clara took a deep breath and stepped forward. "I'm not just the cleaning lady, Victor. I own this company." The room fell silent. Victor tried to laugh it off, calling it a joke and telling her to get back to her mop. Unfazed, Clara pulled out her folder and slapped it on the table. She began reading falsified reports, illegal layoffs, emails where Victor called employees disposable. Faces around the table went pale. "I've got the shares," she said steadily, "and I've got the votes." Tom stepped in with papers confirming her majority ownership. Victor's face contorted with rage. "You can't," he sputtered. "Oh, I can," Clara cut him off. "You're fired, Victor. Right now." Victor stormed out, hissing threats, while Clara addressed the stunned board members. "Things changed today," she declared. "No more layoffs for profit. No more treating people like trash." She showed them a photo of the cleaning crew on her phone. "These folks deserve raises, starting now." The applause began tentatively, then grew louder. As Clara left the building that day, she saw Victor in the parking lot, pacing like a caged animal and yelling into his phone. By evening, news alerts lit up her screen. Pinnacle CEO ousted in shareholder coup. Regulators had seen her evidence and frozen Victor's accounts. His yacht was seized, his reputation shredded online as people called him a fraud and a bully. The next day, Clara walked into Pinnacle wearing jeans and a sweater instead of her uniform. People stared, not with pity but respect. The cleaning crew mobbed her in the break room, grinning and offering coffee. "Clara, you really did it," one said. Later, sitting in Victor's former office and signing papers for raises and ethical policies, she felt a profound shift. The view was the same, but it was hers now. She wasn't invisible anymore. Word spread rapidly. By noon, her inbox overflowed with interview requests and thank you notes from colleagues. One email particularly moved her, from a janitor fired years ago by Victor for requesting a sick day. "You gave us our dignity back." As she walked the halls, she noticed people genuinely smiling. An accounting employee stopped her to say, "You're a legend, Clara." She shrugged it off, saying she was just doing what's right, but inside she felt 10 feet tall. That evening, Clara met Tom at the diner where they'd planned everything. "You're trending, Clara," he said, showing her his phone. "Cleaning lady CEO, headlines everywhere." They toasted with soda cans like celebrating children. Chicago's lights blinked outside, same as always. But Clara felt transformed, stronger after 15 years of waiting and watching. A week later, Clara appeared on a local news station. Under bright studio lights, she told her story. "Why did you wait so long?" the host asked. Clara paused before answering. "I needed proof in the right moment." After the broadcast, calls flooded in from people saying she'd inspired them to speak up at their own workplaces. Back at Pinnacle, Clara implemented small but meaningful changes. She installed a suggestion box in the break room. The first note simply requested more coffee. She ordered an extra machine immediately. She met with the cleaning crew to address their needs. Better hours, sturdier gloves. Miguel, one of the janitors, pulled her aside to tell her his daughter had seen her on TV. "She wants to be you someday." Fighting tears, Clara told him, "Tell her to be better than me." Victor didn't disappear quietly. A month later, he appeared on a cable show, calling Clara a sneaky janitor who stole his company. His rant backfired when the host played security footage, showing Victor's tantrum after being fired, screaming and trashing his office like a toddler. Online, people created memes of his meltdown as his former allies distanced themselves. His once formidable business empire became a punchline. Clara's victory came with caution. Tom warned her that Victor had been asking questions about her. She hired security for the cleaning crew, but remained undaunted. She'd faced him once and would do so again if necessary. Victor's final attack came through legal channels. A lawyer arrived at Pinnacle with a lawsuit claiming Clara had manipulated the shares. Calmly, she presented her uncle's properly notarized will. Hours later, news broke that Victor's case had been dismissed as frivolous. His legal fees mounted as his last supporters abandoned him. A year after the takeover, Pinnacle had transformed. Clara ran the company her way. No more unfair layoffs, decent wages for all, and a workplace where people actually smiled in the hallways. She framed that first suggestion note, "More coffee," and kept it on her desk as a reminder of who she served. Victor, meanwhile, had fallen into obscurity, broke and selling condos in some nowhere town. Throughout her narrative, Clara directly addresses her audience with reflective questions. What would you do if you saw something shady like that? Have you ever had to bite your tongue? What's the sneakiest thing you've ever pulled off? What's it like to watch a bully squirm? These asides create intimacy with readers, inviting them to imagine themselves in her position. Clara ends her story with an empowering message. "I'm no hero, just a cleaning lady who got fed up. If I can do this, so can you." Her journey represents the triumph of patience, observation, and justice over corporate greed and disrespect. A reminder that power often resides where least expected, and that the invisible people in society might be watching more closely than anyone realizes.